Welcome back. Last Monday we did something very special. I want to show you wooden boat enthusiasts. Roll the tape. Here we are for June update number 3, and it's actually a Monday. We normally do filming on a Thursday, but I wanted to get you down here today and actually show you. The boys worked over the weekend to final gloss on the Flybridge. So as you can see, it's all done. It's super shiny, and my daughter would be going, oh wow. It's 3 years old and everything at the moment is wow. But look at that. See, for a job where we tent it all up on site and that, there's very little crap in the paint. There's a couple of little spots which we'll touch up later, but the plan is at the moment is just to let it keep curing and let the solvents flash off. We've got oil heaters and stuff in there, as you can see, because it's damn cold. It's winter here in Australia, and yeah, we've got to keep working, so we've got to improvise. But you can see, you know, the nice shine and everything on there. So this would have been 5 coats of Allcraft 2000 in off-white, which is what we're using on all the exterior of the vessel. We still have got the lids, the locker lids and doors to paint, but they'll get done in a spray booth with the same batch of paint. So that'll all match up. And as we've said before, it's all dry fitted, screwed in and bolted down. We've allowed for gasket gaps and things like that. So everything's just a case of putting it all back together now. You'll see just here, the little bits of tape and that's been put in the screw holes and that, just so they're all there. Don't paint over it. And now that it's all one colour, you can see how all the coves and everything all just mould in and look fantastic. So anyway, that's a bit of a little bit of a snippet for you, because on Thursday, this will be all plasticed up and have protection on it. So I just wanted to show you something before we actually cover it all up, so you actually get to see it. So I'll shut up now and you can have a little bit more of a video of the Flybridge. We're down in the owner's stateroom. We have got the deck head up in place. It's not finished yet, but it gives you an idea of how it's going to look. So we've still got the margin to go on, that type of thing. But anyway, you can get a feel for how it's going to be. And we still have to mark out where all the lights are going to go in the deck head, so that'll sort of break it up a little bit. And in there, Cal is Dynelling the bulkheads for the bathroom. So this is all going to be sealed, because that's going to be 2-pack painted. So the shower stall itself will be all gloss. We're going to have, as I mentioned before, we'll do veneer up to a day-day line, and then above that will be the eggshell gloss. So eggshell gloss, silky oak, that'll come around here, and then this is all going to be all glossed. We've still got that to gloss, and then you've got your toughened glass shower screen coming in there, and then we've got the drop deck head with the shadow line around it, all in the same thing. So it's all going to be easy clean. That's the idea of it. Moving on.
Hello.
I should have cleaned my shoes, shouldn't I? What we're looking at is our Flybridge ladder, which we've had installed. You can see this, all polished stainless. We've got polished stainless around here. And the idea is to have teak steps, which will be inlaid into here, and you've got the polished outside, so you'll have the teak there. We're going to put lighting in the actual underside of the teak treads. So we've done up a sample of that. It actually performed really, really well. So you'll see the holes just in here, which is for the wiring for the lights. Now, that's going to be covered by teak. So we actually router out a hole in the teak. The teak is two laminates of teak stuck together. So we can router out all the cavity for the light and the wiring, sandwich the two back together, and everything's hidden. So that'll work. Then that's all going to come down, and that goes through a hole in the bottom, which is in where the deck head is that we just showed you in the previous clip. So that's where that comes out. These here is for handrails. So this is very similar to the setup that we're going to do on the bow rail going around the boat. So these are a spigot. They'll have a ferrule that goes over the top, which has got a nylon insert, and then that comes straight down. So when we show you later on how we're going to do the bow rail, there's going to be no holes, there's no screws or anything like that to see. And we keep the same theme with the handrails here. So that's why the spigots are here. Then moving around to here, you can see we've sort of marked out some lines here on the deck. That is for our cabinet. So we're going to have a teak cabinet here, and that's also going to house where the cable master outlet is for the shore power, and we'll have some storage and refrigeration. So that's all going in here. We're going to have a plinth here, so it'll have a slight radius. We've actually done it, it's downstairs on the workbench. And then that has to come, so it goes parallel here, all square, and then there's actually a camber in the deck. So it's going to be 100 millimeters, same as the kickers we've done inside the boat, but we've also got to allow 15 millimeters for the teak deck. So then you still get the same height. And it drops away here. So we'll be 15 mil for the teak plus another 100 for the kicker, and then that'll taper through here. The top of the cabinet is about in line there. So it's going to come in around about there. And just remember, this is going to be teak. So we're going to have a teak bulkhead, teak sliding door. We're going to have a teak cabinet here, which will have the same sort of design as upstairs and the foredeck. So the lockers and that will look the same. And then this plinth that it sits on will be white, off-white to match this. So that way you'll have a nice section going around, because that'll also have a bit of white on it. And then we have the teak going up to that for our teak deck. So we're doing that now. Kevin's working his way down the side decks with the teak, and once he gets down to here, well, we need to start doing the margins for here. So this is important to get this done. Everything else is pretty much right. So again, the idea of the plinth there will match in with what we've done with our little pad for the bottom of the Flybridge ladder, and also those pads that we've used for the capstan winches and for the cleats. It all sort of ties in with the same sort of theme. So I like everything to match and have some sort of context. So that's where we're at there. We're going to move on now. We're going to have a look at the teak deck, and we'll give you an update on what's happening there. Kevin's down on ground level doing the margin planks, which is sort of like what goes around the cleats and that you can see. But I wanted to come up on the scaffold and just show you. So this section you're looking at now is all glued down, so it's all epoxied to the deck. And you can see the return, so of the actual design of what he's incorporated into there. And obviously all the open bits are going to be caulked in due course, but you can see the different sections there and how they finish. And again, I think it looks incredible. Just case in point of what you're looking at there, you can see how those two little slithers, if I use that term, are balanced on both sides of the cleat. I'm down on the ground with Kevin, and he's going to run through the A to Z, or ABC, of doing the bird beak joint, bird's mouth joint around our cleat. So this is, I'm going to hand over to Kevin. There's a bit of wood, there's a template, and we're going to move along like they do in the cooking show. So please, you can take over now.
Yes, so I just basically cut a shape around the, so this fits around the cleat, and then I measure the distance that I'm happy with, where this is going to be even 30 mil all the way around. We've got this pattern here which I lay on there to mark it out, etc. And then once I've cut them out, I take the two pieces up and put them around the cleat and measure again exactly 30 mil all the way around that I'm happy with.
So just to interrupt you first, so we've cut that out of our raw board, then you go up onto the vessel to make these fit, and then re-measure here to make sure you get, because each one might be a couple of millimetres different.
Yeah, because you've also got just the angle of the shear. Okay. So anyway, I put these in position, and then I hot glue them together so I know that that's exactly where they need to go. And then I can line them up here, make sure all the joins are going to be square, because they need to be square. And then I will hot glue blocks around here and hold this in exactly the right position. Once I've done that, then I can take these off, and I know that that's going to stay there and that'll stay there. And then I can mark the lines to make sure it's, and then I'll go and sand it square, etc., etc. And then I've got one over here that I prepared earlier.
This might be a really stupid question, but why would you not maybe just hot glue that down onto there?
Because I need, once I've got hot glued this, I need to lift this up off that, take it away, trim that edge so it's square, bring it back, put it down, and then do the other one, bring it back, put it down, and then I'll leave that there, and then I'll go with this piece. I'll go and make the between section, and I'll cut the bird's mouths in this exact.
Right, and that's then, done freehand too, isn't it? With a jigsaw, freehand.
Then I cut that out, and which is sort of what that would be. And then I bring that and put that on top of that exactly. Then I mark around it, and then I can lift that off, and then I can cut those. I'll lift this out, cut it, and then put it back, and then the other piece should slide in. But there'll always be a little bit of sanding involved. But
it's better to undercut it, so you've got to sand it.
Yeah, so over here we have one that I did earlier this morning, and you can see that this is all, the glue's still wet, so I can't take it off the clamps, but you can see there, and so that fits there. And then I can take this back to the bobbin sander and just make sure everything's nice and fair and straight and lines up and square. Then I can glue it down.
Right. And what are we looking at here?
Oh, that's the cover board. So that's the outside margin. But and you can see that I've had to scarf this together to make it long enough. It's about 6 meters long, just over 6 meters, I think. And that's got the curve in it.
Yeah. So if you cameraman, if you come up this way and stand here, you'll be able to see that curve that's.
So all this is done by hand again. So I'll find a margin strip that's got a natural bend in it. Then I can lay that into the shear of the boat and make sure it's the right shear, the right shape. And just clean it up with a hand plane, if necessary, which it is. And this will go on this afternoon, or will be fitted this afternoon anyway. And
the idea is that the cover board that goes right around the exterior of the vessel, the deck, it's all going to look like one piece. So there's no cork seams other than where we've got the
where it's interrupted with the cleats.
Okay. So would it be? Is this sort of where the cleat's going to start here, like the piece you've just made?
Yes, that'll fit into this join here.
Right. Okay.
So that'll fit into that.
So is this the one piece that goes from here to the next cleat?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that's one full piece. So you don't. Because you don't really do this sort of join on the boat, then it's better to do it down on the deck.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll take, once this is glued on, or either. I mean, I can fit that and then fit that to that, or fit that to that. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
As long as I fit to the pencil line that I've drawn on the boat.
Right. Yeah. We've had a look up on the main deck there, and what you're doing looks incredible.
Yeah, it's really come up really good.
I just love the way that you've finished the returns and that. I mean, I haven't seen that in a long time. Actually, I don't think I've ever recalled seeing that. It's always been to a fine point.
Yeah.
And we've repaired a lot of them. So I think what you're doing looks fantastic.
Yes. Yes, it was John Ray that taught me how to do that. And he also got me doing bird's mouths as well. So
beautiful. As I mentioned earlier, we've been designing the handrails for the Flybridge. So these are actually made from solid teak. So this was actually rough sawn teak, one piece, and then we've gone up to 30 millimetre and we routed some of it, then had to be hand sanded and whatever. So we've gone with like a full rail on both sides, as you can see on the other side there too, because my thought was, firstly, I like everything to balance, but if you put stuff here and we finish the rail here, it's going to slide off here. Plus I thought kids and that may sit here, you know what kids are like, so they want to sit here. They've got somewhere to hang on to as well, because we're going to have a rail up there that they can lean against. So we've gone with that. Next issue then is how to mount it onto the helm here. So traditionally you'd go in through the top and you'd put teak plugs into here. We're not going to do that. two reasons why is I think, well, it's going to look a little bit dirt, but also we're going to come up from underneath, right? And the other point, I just had a brain fade there for a sec, was that if we have to do teak plugs on this, we can't really paint it off the job. So, and with this, it's really important to seal all the wood right round, which means underneath may not get sealed properly. So we're going to take it, we're going to mark out where it's all going to go. We're going to line up underneath and we're going to drill up from underneath. We're going to put a screw through. So we'll have a jig here to set it. And then the screw head, the point of the screw will come through. Then this will get set down, give it a whack. That puts the centres of where we're going to have with our handrail, and then we can drill a little bit more of a hole, pilot hole, and then we can screw it from underneath. My wife wants to be on TV. So what that means is we can totally encapsulate this in the varnish that we're using, say like for the tow rail, do the whole lot off the job, and we can then seal it and then fix it down with some adhesive. We're not going to epoxy it down either, because there may be a time when you need to get this off. So it'll be held down with some adhesive, but you'll be able to get it off easy if you wanted to, but it'll be nice and secure because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 anchor points there for it. All right, so that's it. And I think Mark's done a sensational job of fabricating that, and I think it looks great. I'll get out of the way so you can have a little bit more of a look at it. That concludes our episode for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. So we've seen a bit of teak, bit of the cabin, the art before and after of the Flybridge paint job and that. So onwards and upwards, and we'll bring you some more next Thursday.